I'm Vanessa Cole, co-founder of Cole Climb Builders, and our mission is to provide affordable new homes for families in need.
I'm Katrina Icasa, founder of Icasa Company, and our mission is to rehab homes for affordable home buyers.
We're friends, moms, entrepreneurs, and lovers of all things real estate.
By the way, we're both licensed realtors with a passion to educate on buying and investing in real estate.
Together, we have sold over $30 million in real estate, and our mission is to educate our listeners on buying, selling, and investing in real estate. Welcome to Housing Happy Hour. Housing Happy Hour family, how are you?
Welcome to the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. Today, we're going to be talking about New Year's goals, intentions, resolutions, whatever you call it.
Yes.
Time to kick off the new decade with a bang.
Yes. So let's talk about that. Let's share with our listeners and our family on social media, how do we prepare for the new year, right? Because we're real estate entrepreneurs, we're mothers, we have everything on our plate.
Right.
So how do, we can both share our own techniques of how do we get clear? How do we lay everything out? And what gets us motivated?
So I find that the new year, like for all countries around the world, it's something that inspires people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is excited for a new start, fresh beginning, a new chapter, and planting those goals gets people excited.
Yeah.
For me, I set goals rather than resolutions. What do you set?
Yeah. I don't think I've ever set a resolution. But yeah, I'm always setting a goal all the time.
And do you write them down? Do you write down your goals, or you just say, okay, this year, this is what I want to do?
So personally for me, I have been using the Law of Attraction journal. And this is how it looks, guys. You can get it on Amazon, online, the Law of Attraction journal. And I just found it to be super powerful. It doesn't just cover like work goals, right? It also goes into your personal goals, your financial goals, your career, your health, your relationship. Spiritual, absolutely. And I personally like just sitting down. I like getting an overview of what I did to prepare for 2020. I want to see everything. I want to see all the months laid out. And I like to kind of pre-populate certain things that I have already lined up in 2020. And then I look back at my 2019 and I say, okay, what are some things that went well? What are some things in which I can improve on?
Right.
And I put that into my journal. For me, this is like my little safe haven. This is like my little Bible, so to speak.
Right. Keeps you on task.
Yeah. And you mentioned earlier about the podcast that you listened to with Tony Robbins.
Right.
And that you need more than just a goal.
Right.
That you need the energy behind.
Yes.
Like what motivates you, what really pushes you. And I think for me personally, being a builder in the affordable housing space, like that pushes me.
Right.
Helping first-time home buyers is what pushes me.
That's your motivation.
That's my motivation. Yeah. My 2 daughters, that's what pushes me. And I always write that down because that you need that why.
Right.
You need that.
And it breaks it down in the book.
Yes.
It says, why do you want to achieve this goal and what will happen when you achieve it? What is the reward for achieving the goal? I like that.
Yeah. And so I think one thing that Katrina and I wanted to really make sure that we were intentional about in this podcast for 2020 was really encouraging you guys to set your intention for 2020. How do you want to show up in 2020? Right? How do you want to show up as a business person?
Right.
How do you want to show up in your professional life? How do you want to show up as a mother, a lover, a father, a husband?
And for yourself,
a friend,
setting yourself personal time and goals for your personal self make you better for everybody else that you love.
Absolutely.
So if you set goals for yourself, maybe it's I need 10 minutes to myself a day just to clear my head, whether it's meditating or it's just collecting your thoughts,
Yes.
that makes you better in all areas of your life. But something on that podcast that Tony was saying is that the energy behind your goals is what's going to push you through when you hit an obstacle.
Yeah.
You're always going to hit an obstacle. Doesn't matter where you are in life. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. You have to be able to roll with those things.
Yeah.
And the energy behind those intentions is what motivates you through those obstacles. So you don't stop. You keep going.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, I have so many obstacles that it would be a lifetime book to share. But that, I feel like that is what differentiates one person from the next, is your attitude and how you're able to overcome these different obstacles.
Yes.
So what we're saying is 2020, get intentional about where you're going this 2020. Get very clear and write down your why. Write down the energy, the reason why you're doing what you're doing.
And break it down. Break it down. You can break it down by your monthly. What do I want to achieve this month? Or weekly. What do I want to achieve in 6 months, 9 months, year?
Yes.
Because every little bit of growth that we make, that also gives us more strength to keep going.
Yes.
So, and I don't think it's anything as a finish line. It's progress. When we make progress, that's where the true happiness and the joy comes. When we achieve that goal, it doesn't feel as good as the progress.
Yeah.
Daily progress.
Yeah. I think another thing Katrina and I were talking about before we started recording was just the power of writing things down. There is a science behind it. And psychologically, when you write things down and your brain begins to process that, the energy and all this other stuff that we can't see starts to happen and take place. There's power behind that. And I was sharing with Katrina that back in 2011, so this is my journal, guys. So I've upgraded. So this is my journal back in 2011. This is real life. Like, it smells like it was from 2011. It stinks. And this is my 2020 journal. So upgrades are real, right?
9 year difference.
Yes. And I was sharing with Katrina that back in 2011, I was a bartender, and really no college degree. I still don't have a college degree. But I was in a different place in my life. I was in a season where I wanted more for myself, and I didn't know really how to get there, but I had a vision.
Where to start.
I had an intention, right? And so I told Katrina, I was sitting there, I was at the bar, I was waiting to go to work, and I'm sitting here crying, and I'm writing in my journal, and I'm like, I just want to be an investor, and I just want to get a better job and a better lifestyle for my family. And long story short, guys, years later, I found my journal, and I'm literally crying, just real tears, because the power of your words, I'm literally saying, I'm not going to soak in my misery. I'm a resilient, ambitious woman. I'm very goal-driven. I'm intelligent. I'm always seeking ways to better myself as a person. I have to stay on a positive kick. I will not drift into negativity. That is not me. I'm literally telling myself this as a broke ass bartender.
You spoke it into existence.
Spoke into existence. Yeah. And then what do you have now? You fast forward 9 years later, I've built 20 homes. I've got 9 homes on the ground. I have, my CPA is like, oh my God, you guys close over $1 million in real estate production.
It's amazing.
It's powerful.
Yes.
Right? It's so powerful. So we say this we're not on this podcast just because we want to just do something for the hell of it. We really want to stress the importance of getting clear with your life.
Because we're the co-creator of our life.
We're co-creators.
We speak into existence what our current reality is.
Absolutely.
And like she said, what you write down is that much more powerful. It has a connection to your brain. Absolutely. It's not just speaking it. But, it's also the daily. So you set those intentions and you're daily coaching yourself to keep going, making progress.
You're reprogramming your mind.
Yes.
Dr. Joe Dispenza is my favorite. And he talks about how you've essentially have to create a new personality. Mm-hmm. That old personality that you were operating in 2017, 2018, 2019, and you're still carrying those old personality bad habits, you need to fucking create a new personality.
Right.
And when you get clear and intentional about who you want to become, right? Our camera crew on the background, if you want to become this high-level producer, this, mogul, media mogul, you've got to put on a new personality.
Right. Step into those shoes every day.
Absolutely. Us as entrepreneurs in real estate, if you're talking about that you're going to be flipping 5 homes, 10 homes, 15 homes, running a real estate empire, you've got to put on a new personality.
Right.
I've got to put on a new personality if I want to take my goals to that next level.
Yes.
Right? We've got to discipline ourselves more in enhancing our skill set.
Yes.
What different type of books do we need to be reading?
Self-development.
What kind of mentors do we need to be partnering ourselves with? How disciplined we need to stay and making sure we're tracking our productivity.
Right.
I mean, we have to operate on next level.
Yes.
It's 2020, right?
It's a new decade. What we do this year is going
to
define what we do the next 9 years after this year.
Yes.
Something else Tony said in his podcast was what we do for 20% of the time produces our 80% of our reality, the outcome.
The 80-20 rule.
So if you can do 20% of excellence, 20% of the time you show up with excellence. The other 80% is going to show excellence.
Absolutely. Oh my God. I love, anything you do, I always say, do that shit with excellence.
Right. There's
and
no
I'm
other
sorry
way,
to curse so
right?
much on this episode,
There's
but
no other way.
that's how much belief I have in this episode.
You don't get a second opportunity to recreate the moment, right?
Yes.
So you got to make that moment or that time, whatever you do, make it as great as you can. There's no other way to do it.
I had a mentor that told me, he was like, Vanessa, people say time is money. He said, but time is far more valuable than money.
Yes.
He said, because money you can get back. Your time, you cannot get back. That time is precious.
Yep.
My time is ticking. And I'm like, I'm young, but I feel like I'm older. I'm 30, but I'm like, oh my God, I should be doing so much. And so I really value my time. And I'm so meticulous and anal, guys, that I like to color code the things that I'm doing in my journal.
Yes.
And I like to get really clear of where I'm being productive, at what point did I kind of slack off, how much time am I being present with my kids?
Right.
What are some things that I need to improve on? So we're just sharing this with you guys because these are things that has helped us. We found that we've learned it from some of the best in the industry as well. And, we're committed to having a successful 2020
and decade.
Decade.
We're stepping into a new
decade. Yes.
Create a new life.
Awesome. Anything else that we want to leave with our listeners?
No, just do your best. You know what? If you started off, we're on January 12th today.
Yeah.
If those intentions have already fallen off, you can restart. Tomorrow's Monday. Restart. Put a restart. Let's put that 20% of excellence in.
Absolutely. Well, guys, where to follow us at Housing Happy Hour on Instagram.
And YouTube.
Happy Hour. YouTube, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Anywhere there's an audio, you can find us. So thank you guys for tuning in, and stay tuned for the next episode. We will be going over some quick tips to sell your house fast.
Thank you,
Vanessa
guys.
and Katrina signing out.
Bye.